we're going to start with some intros. So we've asked the panelists to come up with something interesting and unique about them. And I'd love, Rebecca, if you could kick us off.
She's Rebecca.
Yeah. So I'm Rebecca Reed and I'm the CRM lead at World of Books. And my weird, interesting fact is I used to play violin in an orchestra at school.
All the best people did that. Asian mum, so of course I played a violin in an orchestra. And my weird fact is I once threw a party where everyone was interviewed by the police afterwards and one person got a letter from the Prime Minister. Catch me later. Oh, to say thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Yudi. I work at FitFlop in the CRM team. And fun fact about me is that before studying marketing at uni, I studied music as well. So yeah, that's it.
Hi, I'm Theo. I'm CRM Ops Manager at River Island. Interesting fact about me, I have a twin, which is an interesting bit, but I've got a sister who's 3 years younger and we're all born on the same day. That went down well.
You got gasps. All right. So the next question, we've talked a lot about the Bloomreach vision. We're obviously a tech company, but those relationships as a marketer myself who buys a lot of tech, those don't always go very well. And you get sold something and it's not necessarily the customer experience that you have. So we want to talk a little bit about where did Bloomreach kind of fail you and what did that relationship look like?
Okay. So an issue we faced, which I guess sits across like our internal tech stack and Bloomreach, is we had trouble setting live some automation use cases just based on the way some of our GTM tagging was set up and how that data pulled through into the platform. So things like low in stock against wishlist, a few use cases like that. And so the way we got around it was with the help of Satya, wherever she is, to use Ginger to basically join attributes. So if someone had something in their wish list, we could then check whether they'd purchased it before we triggered the low in stock email.
And solving that made you feel
great. Limitless.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, my biggest disappointment with Bloomreach was the picture use of me, like my picture and then the presentation. I look horrendous in there. No, I'm joking. I would say when I first started at FitFlop, I just realized that most of the events that I would use in my customer analysis were being expired. So I guess a way to overcome that was I just found out actually that we have the engagement BigQuery. And that was like life-changing, and I think to Taylor. And then since that, we know that even though if events are expired, we can also like recur to BigQuery to have them and to do any sort of analysis and get back those events to the platform.
Yeah, so the example that you're talking about, you were trying to do some year-over-year analysis. The events, the way that the contract had been set up was that you're going to expire events so that you weren't paying for the MPEs or the MES basically, and then you were not able to, you thought, do this year-over-year analysis. But you said you met with Taylor, you learned about BigQuery. What was that discussion and partnership like for you?
It's great because I guess first of everything, it's important for other clients to know that, because I don't think that everyone knows that we can access that. I personally didn't know. So as I said, it was a life-changing because I just thought, most of the analysis I do anyway, it's year-on-year analysis. And I just thought that, I'll not be able to do that. And I was just starting at the company. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? So yeah, thank God that we just found that. And yeah, since that, I always can count on that to look at the past whenever I want.
Awesome, thank you.
I realised I didn't say who I was. I'm Louisa, and I'm from Hornby Hobbies, and please buy small trains. They're fantastic. Tiny trains. I don't think Bloomreach has failed me yet. I'm constantly in a cycle of surprise and delight and enthusiasm, and I am relieved. Before I joined Hornby Hobbies, I did a course in machine learning, and I'm finding a home in the user interface in Bloomreach engagement for all of the principles of machine learning that I learned. the thing that challenged me the most was I was hired by Mr. Michael Manton, who's up in the audience, say hi, who heads up our team. And we had someone who was already, involved end to end in terms of the build of the platform and the integrations, etc. And they left. I don't know, maybe it was what I wore that day, but they decided to hand in their notice when I arrived. And I was very sad about this, but we lost our power user. I am really happy to say that we've built perhaps 1.5 more, the one being my team member, Holly. And we have generated £250,000 worth of incremental revenue through engagement. So I think we nearly qualify as power users now 6 months down the line. That's thanks to the support there. But I think Bloomreach hasn't failed me. It's a really powerful machine. And I think to Leo's point earlier, right, you don't want to drive it like a little French car. I love French cars, by the way. But it's the support that we've had around it that's made everything worthwhile, and not only worthwhile, but like manageable. Alice and the team have been absolutely phenomenal.
And we hear this often, that the power user leaves the business, and how the system is set up, how the workflows are set up, how the automations and the segmentation, all that. Like we're moving so fast, we're not creating our own manuals for the system as we go along. How did you really dig in and begin that process of retraining without just saying, let's find a different solution?
Honestly, I just raised a load of tickets with Jeff. And no. So it's been really interesting because obviously when you do your integration, it's a guided process. So there was some kind of generic information in the documentation. I read it when I go to sleep. It's fantastic. And then there are nuances that are only within your business. I think one of the things that I'd like to do as I bring on new team members is going to be making sure that we have the kind of a companion documentation. But I think also because you can set the analytics up front and let someone else read them over time, you can kind of one and done, and you can come back to the inside, because what we care about as marketers, I'm a marketer more than anything else, is what am I going to do about this? And I think that just makes it a little easier. Not everyone needs to know the ins and outs, so yeah, don't leave Jeff. Who are they?
Okay, for me, so I'm the client product we're talking about earlier, where we broke the warehouse. So we were trying for ages to get a copy to clipboard pop-up to appear on the website, and we just couldn't get the HTML right. And then lovely Salama came through the inbox and said, there's these use cases and plug and play. And so I took a quick look, saw that there was a copy to code banner in there, and I was like, hang on a minute. This could change our lives, and just set it live. I did let someone know that it was set live. Then a week later, we had a 35% conversion rate through that banner alone, and got told by the warehouse to turn it off because they were struggling a bit. But yeah, so we're a very small team at Wilder Books, and we don't have enough developers on the team. So I spent a lot of time learning a lot of HTML, and it just wasn't clicking. So thank goodness the plug and plays came along when they did.
They made you feel
limitless.
Thank you. You did such a better job. Thank you. So we talked about you having an inventory of one oftentimes. Talk to us a little bit about what those challenges are and how you can engage with your customers.
I can't remember. Yes, so we have a problem. Well, it's not really a problem with our stock. It's just we have a lot of editions with books. So we're trying to make them into a single product view, hopefully with a new platform coming soon. So we have a lot of edition issues with customers, perhaps getting the wrong edition and things like that. So we're hoping that with the new platform, reintegrating on Shopify, that we can at least resolve that issue for customers at the very least.
And that I think follows up to the data. You said you're going through this reintegration with Shopify. You're going to re-implement the engagement platform. What led to that decision?
So we've had multiple struggles with the current platform we're on. We don't think it's as strong as it needs to be, especially not to support our growth. as we move into other markets. So we're moving into the USA and all other places around the world. So the new implementation, I think, will be very strong. And if any of the use cases that we've set live already on the current platform work as well as they do on the other platform, we will be limitless.
Okay, thank you. Theo, one of the things that you talked about was actually managing and manipulating data in BI tools outside of the platform while your team was kind of getting ready, learning the analytics and the capabilities inside of the platform. Can you talk a little bit more about how you're using analytics to drive those improved customer engagements and some maybe on or off mobile?
So I think no, that's fine. No, it's fine. So we have some like visibility, if you like, issues with app and kind of the data we can see in the data that's being fed into the platform. So in terms of platform usage and how we're trying to kind of navigate around that, we're using like small automated scenarios that trigger off a session start event, looking at the SDK and then tracking the timestamp of that session start and whether it's on iOS or Android, in order to give us greater visibility over time of which customers are using app, specifically because some of the visibility issues sit around kind of seeing delivered status against push and just general push engagement. It's a whole big thing, I won't go into it. So we're doing an app audit at some point. So what the visibility this will give us is understanding which customers are engaging with us on app, but not with push, because at the moment that's kind of a disconnect for us. So we can see some visibility through push, and we don't expire campaign events for 13 months, so we have that kind of view. But in terms of session start, that expires after 30 days. So we wanted a way to kind of extend and gain greater visibility about eating into event usage and event storage. So we're using Ginger code just to track that over time, and then we can build segmentations off that to understand who's engaging on app from like a session point of view, and therefore in theory viewing products which we can't see at the moment, and engaging with push, and who is just engaging with app, and therefore I guess an understanding is not much we can do with them at the moment, but it'll just give us greater visibility.
Keep taking this back for real. The microphone situation. So we're going to transition into the Bloomreach Ambassador program. We've talked a little bit about challenges, how you overcame them. As a, again, person who buys technology, I think what we had a good time talking about was partnership, communication, making sure that you're raising issues and that you're part of the process. River Island, for example, has been great in helping us build our mobile capabilities. Why did you choose to become Bloomreach Ambassadors? And since you have the mic, we'll start with you.
For me, it's more about being able to share nice use cases with other ambassadors. And CRM specifically, I would say I'm really keen to learn from those guys, like any other use cases in terms of triggers that they have, because I guess most of us are very used to the classic ones like welcome, birthday, all of those classic ones, but it'd be really nice to know any other use case in terms of triggers you guys are working on, or there's been loads. Okay, good to know. Okay, and they are successful, so that it can be linked. Okay.
I think it was quiet.
I want free courses and free wine and to be famous. No, I'm joking. I think it's exactly the same. I've learned so much from all of the events that you do. I don't need a badge to benefit. I know that. I know everyone benefits from all of the different events. It feels like a cherry on the top that there's a badge that comes with it. I'm really looking forward to honing the way I speak and present and think about personalization and limitless marketing.
You're doing so well.
Likewise for me, it's the community of all the other ambassadors as well. It's leaning on them for expertise, advice. The Slack channel is great for that. Just connecting on LinkedIn, just chatting. The freebies, can I say that?
Promoting the ambassador program.
Love that. And Elena has been perfect as well. She's been great at training us all and just chatting to us all, keep us all involved.
I guess a lot of how I feel kind of echoes what you guys have said, but we're quite a small team at River Island, and the two execs that sit my team have onboarded relatively recently, so we're not only always trying to question the status quo and push our use cases forwards, which often involves a lot of ginger, which I'm on the fence about, but the ambassador community gives me a space to kind of talk about those things with like-minded individuals, people who can kind of help troubleshoot, and I got quite a big push from Alice and Sam, so thank you.
Well, thank you all so much. We do love our ambassador community. Again, as I mentioned, 70 strong and growing. There is an application process. We do want to make sure that you are thought leaders, that you have a good perspective, that you're going to contribute and participate actively in the group. There are regular online meetings and then in-person meetings, and we do have some freebies and swag stuff to swag you up. So we hope that you check out the ambassador program. Please meet Elena if you're interested in it. She's over there in the plaid. Is it plaid? The black and white jacket. And we are going. Thank you so much for joining us, panelists. Please spend time.